Crystal Wang on with us today. Thank you very much for joining us, Crystal.
Hi, it's very good to be here.
Thanks a lot for joining us and taking some time out. I'm pretty sure you guys are probably have a lot of time on your hands now since we're all in quarantine. We're quarantined here in Colorado. You're up in Washington, correct?
Yes, I live in Bellevue, Washington, which is very close to Seattle.
Yes, so you guys got a lot of time on your hands. So what have you been doing since now that you've been quarantined there? What are you doing to keep yourself sharp mentally and physically? Are you training? What are you doing?
So I'm still doing some physical training at home to keep myself physically fit, and I try to do a lot of exercises on a daily basis. And then also because school is closed, so on top of that, I also have some online classes that I have to do every day. And then recently, since it was the end of the Olympic trials, and then I also got my vids recorded there, so I was watching a few of my matches as well.
Yeah, I know Sean sent out a bunch of videos to have you guys go over your tapes and everything to kind of help you train mentally and see as far as where you can improve your game. So I know that he has sent out a lot of information to keep you guys sharp, which is excellent.
Yeah, it was very helpful, and it was really nice to be able to send us all the videos. Yeah.
So you did mention about the Olympic trials. You finished third there. Now, obviously with the delay of the Olympics, for 2021, if they were to run trials again, would you compete, or would you be like, no, I'm good?
If were to happen again, I would probably compete again, and I would just try my best because I have really nothing to lose. But even if it were to happen again, I think that all the players on the current Olympic team are just really amazing athletes, and they all really deserve it to be on. So yeah, I'm fine with either outcome. Yeah.
Great. So speaking of tournaments, what is one of your favorite tournaments that you look forward to every year besides the Olympics and the trials? And what's the one that really stands out throughout the year that you go, I really got to step up my game on that one?
I think one of my favorite tournaments is probably the World Championships, and it's obviously very disappointing that this year's World Championships has been postponed.
Yeah.
But I think that the World Championships is one of the biggest table tennis tournaments annually, and so many amazing players go from all over the world, and just world-class players, and it's a really good learning opportunity, and I get to learn a lot from the top players in every country and all over the world. And also, it's just been an amazing experience to be able to go to the World Championships, and the environment there, hospitality was also all really good.
Great, that's excellent. So for one of those big tournaments, how do you prepare yourself for one of those tournaments? Mentally and physically. How do you say, all right, I got to really, do you work yourself right up to it, or do you, some people they take a little bit of a break right before so they're not so tired? How do you prepare?
I like to train more before a really big tournament. So I like to do a lot more skills or technique training with my coach, and then I also like to do a lot more physical training to keep myself physically fit, and also to improve my stamina and stuff like that. But then I also try to play a few more matches, smaller tournaments before a really big tournament to get myself mentally prepared, so that I kind of know what state I am in right now, or how I feel, and then to see if there's anything else that I should improve on, and weaknesses that I find in these smaller matches and tournaments, which would really help me prepare for a bigger tournament. And I also try to watch a few of my matches, recordings and videos, just to kind of get a sense of where I'm at and where I need to work more on and improve on. So.
Excellent. That's great. So, being exposed to a lot of these great teams, is there somebody that you really kind of either idolize, or do you have a rival that you say, what, I really got to step up my game because I'm going to see them in the finals, or, or somebody that you go, what, that's a person that I emulate my game to, or something like that. Do you have somebody that you have in mind like that?
I guess in America, it's maybe not a rival, but one of my very strong opponents, I guess. I'll probably be Amy. I think even though we're really great friends off the court. I think because we know each other so well and we've played with each other so many times, it's always like very difficult to compete against her. And we've traveled together for so many years for international tournaments. So I think it's always like very difficult to compete against her.
Gotcha. How
Yeah.
did you get into sport, by the way? I want to
Yeah.
kind of get a sense as far as, where you came from and how you got into the sport, because always great stories as far as how people get involved, and then it really encompasses their life and grow with it.
So I actually got into the sport because of my grandparents. So when I was younger, I lived in China. So I was America, but then I went to China when I was really young to live with my grandparents. So in our neighborhood in China, there was this really small community center, and my grandparents would go there on like a weekly basis because it was a really good exercise for them. And so I would also like tag along with them once in a while, and then just slowly I started as well with one of the coaches there. So at first it wasn't very serious. I just kind of played for fun, just like a good exercise and just to play with my grandparents a little bit. But then when I'm like 5.5, almost 6, I moved back to America to live with my dad in Maryland. And then so in Maryland, MDTDC, I started training more professionally and started to play more competitively. And then I started training with one of the coaches, Wang, who has been my coach for like many, many years. And so there I just started to train with him. And then I started to play a lot more tournaments like Nationals and US Open. And,
Wow, that's amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
So if there would be somebody that's watching this video right now and they say, I really want to get into table tennis, what would be a piece of advice you'd probably you would express to them and tell them?
Yeah, so I think for table tennis, it's very important to like establish your foundational skills. So I think when you have the time, it's better to work on your foundational skills. It will help you improve a lot faster in the long run, and it'll just be much better in the long run, and also to compete in more events, because building experience is also like very helpful as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have a huge future ahead of you. So where does this go from today? You're 18, you're probably coming up on college. Where do you see yourself in a couple of years?
So I'll be going to college after summer break, and I haven't gotten all my decisions back yet, so I'm not really sure where I'll be going to college. But depending on the area that I decide to go to, I think a really big impact on my table tennis career, because obviously like some places have a lot more like clubs and opportunities to like practice and to train and to compete and stuff like that. So I think I'll probably decide to go somewhere where it's closer to a lot of the table tennis clubs.
Sure.
And I think definitely in the next 4 years, I'll still be trying to train a lot still, and I'll try to compete as much as possible in international tournaments. And I'm still hoping to try out for 2024 Olympics. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And then, then in LA, it'll be here in 2028. So there you go.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to follow you, where can they follow you, Crystal?
I have Facebook, which is just Crystal Wang, and then also Instagram, which is Watermelon Crystal Wang.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I really do appreciate your time. And, I'll let you go because I know you got some training to do. So thanks again for joining us. I really do appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
You bet. Stay Pong positive.
Thank you.
You bet.